Welcome to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your Direct Sales Domme, Jennie Bellinger. Badass Direct Sales Mastery is a podcast for rock star direct sales moms who are determined to make their business kick ass. Jennie will share her knowledge of effective sales and recruiting techniques, tips to get what you want from your business, and will interview direct sales professionals and leaders from various companies. The interviews will give insight to how these rock stars got to where they are and where they plan to grow in the future. And now, the Direct Sales Domme, Jennie Bellinger.
Hi, everybody. It's Jennie Bellinger, your Level Up Coach and Direct Sales Domme with the Badass Direct Sales Mastery podcast. And today I've got a really fun guest. She's someone who I've had a conversation with before, but this is our first opportunity where we've been able to record so that you guys can hear more about what she's doing. And she's got a really interesting story. I love it. So the person I have with me today is Cynthia Couch. Cynthia is a dentist out of Kentucky, and she has been in dentistry since the early 2000s, since 2003. But she just started in the last 2 years a network marketing business. She was introduced to Rodan Fields, and if you haven't heard of that, I'm going to let her tell you guys more about it. But she was introduced to Rodan Fields a couple of years ago, and she decided she was going to start with the products herself. And then it became her fun thing on the side, and now it's become a business for her in addition to her dentistry. And so she is looking to be able to have a conversation with doctors, other dentists, eye doctors, other people in the medical field about how being in network marketing has changed her life and changed how she approaches her businesses as well. So welcome, Cynthia.
Hi.
Hi. So all my family who are from Kentucky are going to be so excited to listen to this because they're going to go, yay, someone who sounds like me.
Yeah.
So that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about how you got into Rodan Fields.
Okay. Well, as a dentist, one of the things that I got interested in was Botox and fillers, just because I like it for myself. I mean, so I started learning how to do those things, and it started to, I'm doing more of it. Well, I had a patient came in, and she is a person who is lucky. She gets to live half the year in Florida and half the year here. But it's wreaking havoc on her skin. I was noticing that it's real leathery looking a little bit. And we were doing Botox, and it was helping. And then, so I told her, I was like, look, you really need to go to the dermatologist. You should go and have skin treatments, like maybe microderm, maybe a chemical peel. You need to do something to help with the leather texture of your skin, because I don't care how much Botox and fillers you do, it's still, you've got to take care of it, right? Well, she comes back about, 6 months later, needing a little touch up on her Botox, and her skin looked totally different. And I said, did you go to the dermatologist like I told you to? She goes, no, one of my friends sells this Rodan Fields stuff, and I bought it. I've been using it. I was like, Rodan Fields, how come I think I know their names? She goes, the proactive people. And I was like, oh, they're doctors. That's right. Mm-hmm. And then it was kind of funny. A couple of months later, one of my good friends introduced me to the business, and I was like, totally like, sign me up. I was one of these people. There's people who have to study on it. Like,
yes.
Oh, I need to see if this is really going to be worth it. Well, I've tried lots of things before. And one of the reasons that I got excited about this was you don't have to buy inventory. That was a big deal for me, because I've sold a lot of things where you have to purchase stuff and then resell it, and you have to fool with sales tax and all that crap. And then you also, it's just a headache. And then plus, if you get stuck with it and nobody wants it, then what do you do with it? You try to sell it to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Cheap. And you lose money. So with Rodan Fields, it's actually very similar to, they call it a disruptor company, like Amazon, where you order things online and things like that. Like, I help you order it, and I help you with what you need, and I introduce you to it. But Rodan Fields really take on all of the responsibility of the money part. they just pay me to help with it. And I really like that. And I like that I can do stuff like this at home in my free time and talk to people that I've never met before. So, once I figured out that these were doctors, and then I found out they were not just doctors, they were Stanford trained doctors. So they're intelligent and they're friends, and they wanted to do this to help other people, which is one of the reasons I wanted to help myself and other people. So that's one of the reasons I got into it.
That's awesome. And I think it makes perfect sense for someone who is in the medical field to do something that is scientifically and medically based. It fits in naturally with what you're doing already. And so have you found a way to incorporate the Rodan Fields with your dental practice?
I'm actually getting better and better about that kind of thing, because that's where I'm a dentist and I'm having to do teeth. I'm just like if you were a doctor and you're having to do that kind of stuff. It's something you have to figure out your own way to do it. But one of the things that I did that is kind of neat is I bought some of these little digital frames and I put different pictures, like before and after pictures of these are real people, just like me and you, not, movie stars and stuff.
Right.
It shows before and after pictures. And really, while they're waiting for me to come in between the rooms, they can look at that, gives them a little something to do. And then they're curious about it. So sometimes they ask me about it, but if they don't, I will say, hey, I also do this skincare stuff. I do Botox and fillers, and I sell a line of skincare products. And if you're interested, I can give you more information, that kind of thing. I do it real quickly, but you kind of have to follow up in the evening, and you don't have to spend a lot of time following up either. You can just shoot them a little quick voice message on Facebook or text them or something like that. So you don't have to spend a lot of time. But I do want to start to get my staff to help me with it a little bit, and they're really interested. So that's one way to do it.
I love that. And because obviously somebody who is going to be in to have their teeth taken care of cares about their appearance. So it would make sense that getting a skincare line that is backed by someone with medical training, like yourself, and they already know you, they already like you, they already trust you because they're letting you in their mouth. You're in their personal space. So I think that's a really great fit for someone like you to have the skincare line and that you're incorporating it in that way. So in terms of reaching out to other medical professionals, what is it that you would say if they have a question about, does being a part of network marketing affect your credibility with your patients? Because I'm sure that might be a concern for some people. How do you answer that?
Well, actually, I think it helps you. I know it's going to sound strange, but when they see you backing a product that's made from doctors, then they're like, oh, wow, it must work. I think it helps us because we do that. But, some people may not care about skincare. Some people may not be that interested in it. But if you're not, I'm sure you have some patients that probably have really self-conscious, just like if their teeth look bad. If their skin looks bad, they're going to be embarrassed and more, reserved and things like that. And I think that when you improve your skin, you really do improve their life, just like their teeth. It's the same thing.
Absolutely. That makes perfect sense. I think that people really do, if there's one thing they do care about, it's often how they're going out into the world. How do I look? And that affects how they feel. And knowing that they're confident, they feel, well, okay, I know my teeth look good because I got Dr. Couch taking care of me. And now I know that my skin looks good. So that's because I can see how a doctor might worry about the credibility factor, because there are some people who don't have a great view of network marketing. And I, of course, am not one of them. I believe in network marketing, what it can do for somebody's life and what it can do for their business. So how do you see network marketing, whether it's a business with Rodan Fields or any direct sales business that a medical professional might be passionate about? How do you see that helping them in their life outside of their practice?
Well, I'm sure there's a lot of things out there that are just, hoax, junk, and people are selling it like crazy, or trying to anyway. But it's based on science. These products are, if you went to the dermatologist and they were to give you a prescription, this is what they would give you. And it's one grade below prescription, so you don't have to have a prescription for it. You can order it. The products have research, and I mean, we have tons of before and afters of people with all kinds of different colors of skin, light, dark, dry skin, oily skin, everything. And we have something for probably 90% of the people, and it will improve your skin. Like, I don't even wear foundation anymore, and I used to wouldn't go anywhere without it. But I was self-conscious. I was one of those people that had some skin problems myself. And that's the reason that I am so interested. And I've been to the dermatologist a ton of times. And the stuff they've given me over the years, it's the same stuff that I get from, actually, it's the Rodan and Fields is better because it's a kit. You get all things and they work together. And some people are like, well, that's so many steps. I don't think I can do that. Well, it only takes a few minutes. It doesn't take that long. It's kind of like exercising and, dieting, exercise. You got to do both a little bit. I don't know. I really think that everything is going to online anyway. I mean, you can see retail is going down big time. Things are being sold on Amazon. We are called a disruptor company too. I don't know if you know what that is, but you can think of Amazon. Amazon is one of the disruptor companies, probably the first one, where they started this weird online thing where they sell things and everybody's went crazy over it. It's actually shut a lot of retail stores down. Well, Rodan and Fields actually started out in like Nordstrom's and Saks Fifth Avenue, places like that, the fancier places. And they did a lot of research, I think with the Harvard Business School, and they learned that the reason they were selling their products was because people were telling each other about it, not because the store clerks were helping.
Right.
So, and it was
all word of mouth marketing.
And they also decided they wanted to help other women, which is one of the things I think is awesome. They want to help us and they want to help other people. And right now we're number one, and we're only in 3 countries. And we're getting ready to go to Japan, and we haven't even got to China yet. So
wow.
We're a new company, and we're number one in the United States, Canada, and Australia. So
that's awesome. That's and it helps when you've got someone, as you mentioned before, who backed a product that was so well known and so effective for so many people before, the Proactive product. I mean, heck, I was one of the teenagers who used Proactive back in the day because I had some acne issues and I used it and it helped clear me up. It worked. And so I got to the point where I didn't need it anymore, but they didn't have another product that wasn't acne based. So of course I went back to my other stuff, So once my acne was cleared, I was great. It took care of the product. So knowing that you've got that backing of something that was already so well known and medically based makes perfect sense. So how do you grow your business when you're not at your practice, when you're not at your dental practice? Do you do things for your business outside of work?
Well, just like this, just talking to people is really all you have to do. That you have to sit at the grindstone working hard like you do when you're fixing teeth, or begging insurance companies to pay people's bills and things like that. This is, you just talk to them about it. If they want to do it, then they do it, and then you help them sign up, and you can do little incentives. You can do whatever you want. You can have little promotions and things. But I like the product, so I wanted to use the products. I want to help other people. So that's one of the reasons. And I was curious myself as why that Rodan and Fields had Proactive, and then they sold it. And now they have their own Rodan and Fields thing. Well, we actually did at the convention. They kind of talked about it a little bit, and it's really interesting. They kind of started with it, and they learned from it. They learned that Proactive was really more for like teenagers, younger people. The older you get, it dries your skin out a little bit. Yep. So they reformulated things, and I actually used their Unblemish and their Redefine. I kind of used 2 of them for wrinkles and for acne to keep me from
oh, lucky you. You had both at the same time, right?
Right. But I mean, some people outgrow it. I didn't.
Okay.
But the reason they stopped with Proactive is because they had hired people to help them with their company. Well, when they did that, they kind of took over and almost pushed them out a little bit. They was like, okay, we're done. They started their own and they started over. And they're the ones in charge now. The only people that help them are people that they get to help them, but they still make the call the shots. It's not like it was before. They want to help people. They want to keep it direct sales and person to person so that they help us. And they also have their prescription for change, which is it's a charitable thing where they help lots of underprivileged kids. It's really good. So you can donate to that if you want.
Oh.
Yeah, and you can participate in it is what's neat. So
That's really cool.
I think they're just good people too.
Good. How do you find that being a part of Rodan Fields has enriched your life in the last 2 years?
Well, my skin looks better.
Good. Good. How about the business aspect of it? Has that enriched you?
Yes, I am making more money. Like I call it fun money at first because you have to build yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
Some people actually even replace their job, and they make a lot of money. And you can even earn a vehicle if you are really good with it. One of these days, maybe I'll get a vehicle.
Well, fingers crossed. There are people who can help you do that.
Yeah.
No, absolutely. So what would you say is your biggest, obviously the skincare is a big part of participating in a company like this, but outside of that, what would you say is your biggest takeaway from participating and being in business with Rodan Field?
The thing that I think is interesting is how that I've met so many people. I mean, like you, for instance, and I have an eye doctor friend that's in Missouri. I wouldn't have never met her. We were talking about the lash boosts and stuff, and that was interesting. I have friends all the way in California that I would have never met before, and we talk to each other, and it's fun, and that is really fun. And if you're a person who likes to have get-togethers and parties, then you can do that. If you're a person that you don't have to. You're your own boss. So you can be hard-nosed about it or easygoing with it. You can help people. You can help yourself. I mean, what's not to love?
Exactly. It really does seem to cover all of the bases. I'm curious because now having run your own dental practice for 15 years now, with that, do you find that you're having a lot of business crossover in terms of things that you originally implemented for your dental practice has now become something that you do in your Rodan Fields business, or vice versa? Is there anything that you learned maybe at a training or convention for Rodan Fields business that you've now also turned into and started doing in your dental practice? Has that helped you as well?
Yes, we're all the time talking about building relationships, but really that's what everything is. You do have to build a relationship because if your patient doesn't trust you to fix their tooth, I mean, they're going to go to somebody they do trust. And if they want to feel like they're with somebody who's fair and nice and gentle, that kind of thing. The same thing with the Rodan Fields business. They want you to be honest with them and help them. They don't want you just to say, here, you need this, buy this.
Right.
That's not me. I can't do that.
No, and it's really just about educating the buyer and just like letting them know that they have options and that you have one of those options.
The other thing is they give you a 60-day money-back guarantee, and that was another big pull for me because I have been to so many different companies and bought things and ended up not liking it and had a closet full of it and spent tons of money on junk, hoping to do or whatever you want to call it. It didn't work. Or I didn't.
I totally get that. Absolutely. So in terms of moving forward, what are some of your next big goals with your direct sales business?
I want to grow a team. I think it would be fun to have a team and have parties and get-togethers like some of my upline girls do. They have a ball.
Right. Leadership is fun.
It's more fun than fixing teeth, I'll just tell you that.
I bet.
Even though I like to fix teeth, it's fun to get together and just talk about wrinkles and kind of,
Right, exactly. So you'd like to grow a team, and who are the people you're looking for your team?
Well, maybe people that are like me, a dentist or other medical professionals. But really, I don't care. Whoever's interested in it, stay-at-home moms are great, especially if they want to make extra money on the side, or if they don't have time to do anything because of their kids. They totally could do this. A lot of people started out in the career like me and they're staying home, and that's what they do now. So, I mean, the sky's the limit with this kind of stuff.
Right, exactly. The only ceiling in network marketing is you. You
It's
are
true.
your own ceiling. If you're out there listening to this podcast and your Rodan Fields is not something that's popped up in your area somehow, I can't imagine, because if they're number one in the country, they've got to be almost everywhere. But if you're listening to this and going, you know what? I want to be able to say that the person who brought me into this business is a dentist who is doing this because it works, because it matters and it's scientifically backed, then you're going to want to reach out to Cynthia. So, Cynthia, how would you like people to reach out to you if they want to learn a little more about Rodan Fields and maybe how joining your team could benefit them?
Well, I mean, I'm on Facebook. It's Cynthia Couch, Begley. I'm easy to find on Facebook. My dental office is called Modern Dental Solutions, and it's in London, Kentucky. And my email, you can email me. It's my name. It's Cynthia, Cynthia, B as in boy, Couch, Couch, @gmail.com. So you can email me. I don't care. You can even text me or something. But everybody gets on Facebook. I think that's the easiest way to find things.
Absolutely. I agree. So in the show notes for the podcast, I will have all the ways to contact Cynthia, so you can pick and choose your favorite way to get a hold of her. I'll have her Facebook link as well as her email, and also a link to her dental practice page as well. So for the last thing that we want to talk about today, Cynthia, before we sign off for this, is I'd like to know how you plan to move into your next level with Rodan Fields, because you're at one particular level. What's it going to take for you to get to that next level?
I need a few more good people under me, I think.
Okay. So looking for motivated, coachable people who are wanting to be successful.
Yeah, how to find them too.
Yeah, exactly. That's always helpful. Absolutely. And so, got to ask you one more question. Sorry, I forgot. What is your key to direct sales success so far?
Oh gosh, you put me on the spot. Maybe because I'm a dentist, and because all of the people that I've sold to so far are my patients. And I have the products in my office that I can explain it to them a little bit and things like that, I guess.
No, that's great. To know that you've got credibility behind you is a key to success. Cynthia, thank you so much for sharing your story with all of my listeners and all of our badass direct sales representatives who are looking to master their direct sales business. Thank you so much. And and again, everybody, if you want to reach out to Cynthia and learn more about Rodan Fields and see how it might be of benefit to you or someone in your life, reach out to Cynthia. Have a conversation. Bye, everybody.
Thanks for listening to the Badass Direct Sales Mastery Podcast with your Direct Sales Domme, Jennie Bellinger. Why are you waiting to go to badassdirectsalesmastery.com? Don't make the Dom get her whip. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure to share it with another rock star that you know in direct sales after you subscribe to the podcast so you won't miss any future episodes. You can also check out the show notes for links and any contact information mentioned in today's episode. We'll see you next time.